What is up, guys? This is Orca Flop, and today I'm coming at you with another video. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Federated Auto Part 2018 Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond. Overall, I thought it was a decent race. Not the best, but it was okay. But anyway, I guess we'll just get into the review now. So we start out in stage one. Hamlin and Harvick are up front. Hamlin drops like a rock immediately. And Truex ends up making his way up, and him and Harvick battle for a little bit, and Truex ends up going to the lead. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. So Truex ends up going to the lead, and I'm happy with that, because go Truex. I'm wearing my Truex shirt right now. I just finished watching the race, so yeah. Truex takes the lead in stage one, and then probably the most weird moment of the race was when Stenhouse pitted early, tried doing a different strategy that most teams, it felt like, were doing. Stenhouse tried to stay out, and he went into pit road earlier than everyone else and got new tires. So Stenhouse in turn 3 went full send to Denny Hamlin and literally spun him out, but there was no caution. So that caused Chase Elliott to lose spots and some others to lose spots. And ultimately, Hamlin had a horrible night after that, and he really dropped back a lot of spots since Stenhouse turned him. And I don't know exactly how Hamlin reacted to that. I would assume he was a bit pissed off because Stenhouse is not running for any points. He's not in the playoffs or anything like that. I mean, me being a biased fan, I enjoyed that, to be honest with you, because I don't like Denny Hamlin ever since Richmond 2017, ironically, in the fall race, when it wasn't a playoff race. It was the playoff determiner race, whatever the fuck you want to call it, last race in the regular season, whatever. So Hamlin got dumped by Stenhouse. They didn't call it caution as, pit stops went through. Actually, we didn't have any green flag pit stops first stage. My boy Truex wins stage one and gets those extra playoff points that we need. So, yes, Truex won stage one. Thank God. And then stage two happens and exists. We go green. Literally, it felt like there were certain cars that were good on the long run, and there were certain cars that were good on the short run, depending on how your tire wear was and how you were braking and getting into the corners. So Truex, once again, I don't really remember what happened much as stage two. I just remember Truex kind of schooling the field. And then Kyle Busch, notable driver, I'll get to him later. He was working his way up to the field the entire race, starting in 39th from getting a pit road penalty. So he was working his way up to the field, doing whatever he needs to do in order to lock himself in and not worry about the roll. So Kyle Busch was moving into the top 10, had literally a winning car the entire race, and again, I'll get to that later. Truex ends up cruising to a stage two victory. Hell yeah, more playoff points for Truex. That's really awesome, especially for me being a biased Truex fan. So good for me. Truex sweeps the stages, but then I got a little problem here. NASCAR. What the fuck? What the actual fuck are you doing? So, pit stops happen in stage 3, right? Because pit stops exist. Truex goes into pit road. His pit crew's already pretty shitty and has been shitty throughout the whole fucking year. The tire on the right side of the car, they were changing the tires. And as they were doing that, one of the tires slipped onto the fucking line and was within arm's reach of a pit crew member. But no, because NASCAR is borrowing some of that oxycodone that Brian France had, that is a fucking tire violation. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? And Truex wasn't the only one plagued by bad penalties today. I believe Jimmy Johnson got another tire violation for some stupid-ass reason, and then Eric Jones got a stupid equipment violation, even though that's really not even out of his control. He could have just went into pit road anyway and just got it off, but no. According to NASCAR, that's a fucking hazard. Unfucking real. I can't believe it. The fucking tire was on the goddamn line, and it was within arm's reach. The fucking tire was right here, and my arm is right here. It's in fucking arm's reach. I don't know what the fuck NASCAR was doing today. I don't know what kind of drugs they were on, but apparently when a tire now is on the fucking line, it's a tire violation. It was literally, and it felt like an inch away from the fucking pit crew member's arms. I can't believe that. NASCAR is on some stupid ass shit right now. I don't believe that. So yeah, Truex got fucked over by a retarded ass tire violation, and he ended up restarting 29th in the third stage. And as the third stage continues, we notice guys like Eric Almirola, Brad Keselowski, and maybe Joey Logano and Kurt Busch have short run cars. Chase Elliott was one of the ones who were plagued by the long run car, as he would, if he would get on new Goodyear tires, he was never able to really, move his way up through the field on an early run. So yeah, Kyle Busch once again working his way up through the field. I believe at this point, Harvick and Keselowski were the class of the field right now. So yeah, that happened. As we continue to go, Kyle Busch makes his way up through the field, and green flag pit stop cycle through. And Chase Elliott ends up falling back. Oh, yeah, no, Chase Elliott was a class of field in most of stage 3, but Chase Elliott gets plagued by a bad pit stop. And then Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski get good pit stops. Keselowski comes out first. Kyle Busch comes out second. Kyle Busch, having the long run car he did, he was able to work his way up through the entire race. And, he was able to catch up to Brad Keselowski, pass him for the lead, and the laps continue to wind down. And after Matt Kenseth gets played with a retarded tire violation, he spins out Jeffrey Earnhardt to make the race exciting. That's... Oh, Matt Kenseth, I wish you would try to find a ride for next year and not Ryan Newman going to the 6th, but whatever. So, yeah, thank you, Kenseth, for bringing out that caution because it made it a little exciting. And then we went green, and then Brad Keselowski seemed to be outstanding on the short runs. And for like a 40-lap radius, we had a great battle between Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. But as soon as Kyle Busch's long run car came in after the restart, Keselowski ended up fading away, falling back to Harvick, Almirola, and Truex. Truex, who had to restart 29th after the end of stage 2, was able to work his way up to third. And at this point, it was a battle between Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. And so, yeah, Kyle Busch was able to pull away from Harvick because he got held up by Keselowski for so long. Truex, when he got to third, for some reason, even though he had the best car on the track at that time, he was getting held up, and I guess he was falling back to 5 seconds behind Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch. So that's the thing. And then, what happened after that? So, yeah, Kyle Busch getting held up by lap traffic. Here's where I think should get a bit more controversy than it does. Kurt Busch, who is Kevin Harvick's teammate at Stewart-Haas Racing, had a consistent day all day, but I don't know what happened to Kurt Busch. I forgot if he got penalized or not, or he was having bad pitch strategy, but he was, he fell back to really low in the field, and then Kyle Busch was able to close on up to Kurt Busch, and with like 4 or 3 to go, Kurt Busch doesn't do anything. He lets Kyle Busch go. And then he lets Kevin Harvick go, as Kevin Harvick really had a 2/10 faster car than Kyle Busch did at the moment. And Kurt Busch let Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick go scot-free. Now, the reason I find this so controversial is because really, if you think about it, Kurt Busch had to make a hard decision. He is in the playoffs. He's, 37 points to the good, or 27? I forgot what it was right now. I was assuming that, Kurt Busch, knowing that he's got to worry about his points, would try to stay ahead of Kyle Busch and maybe try to fight for himself. But no, he let his brother Kyle go. And, he's in that situation where, does he let his brother go and hold up his teammate to help his brother win, or does he hold up his brother to help his teammate win and ultimately help himself, maintain points? And I'm really curious as to why Kurt Busch let Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick go, because I had the opinion of that Kurt Busch was going to hold up Kyle Busch and help Kevin Harvick close more on him, and then we were going to have a race. Because I really thought, that Harvick was way faster than Kyle Busch as he was closing in. So I was assuming, hey, Kurt Busch is Kevin Harvick's teammate. Maybe he'll hold up Kyle Busch. So, yeah, I don't know why Kurt Busch let Kyle Busch go. But anyway, Kyle Busch crosses the line first, and Kyle Busch wins at Richmond and locks himself into round 2 of the playoffs. Doesn't have to worry about the Roval, and he sweeps Richmond in terms of Cup Series racing. Gets his first win in the fall race at Richmond. To be honest with you, I'm not too mad that Kyle Busch won. Even though I really was hoping Kurt Busch would hold up Kevin Harvick to make the race more interesting. I was really hoping that, maybe Kevin Harvick was able to close up to Kyle Busch and make the race interesting. So, as we take a look at the points, you have Keselowski who won at Vegas and Kyle Busch who just won at Richmond now. They have now locked themselves into round 2 of the playoffs. And Truex, my boy, sweeping the stages today. And even though he got that bullshit tire violation, he ended up coming back and getting a 3rd-place finish. So, solid top 5 for Truex. I'm really happy about that. So Truex is now 85 points to the good. He is locked into round 2. Hell yeah. I don't got to worry about the shit-ass Roval. Oh, that race is going to be a disaster. I think, you got guys like Larson, Almirola, even Austin Dillon maybe. Kurt Busch, Logano. Those guys are solid, and I think they'll make the next round on points if they're at least somewhat consistent at the Roval. Guys you want to worry about, I think, are Alex Bowman, Brian Blaney, considering they're not too many points to the good right now. And then the 4 guys below the cutoff is Clint Bowyer, Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, and Eric Jones. I think Hamlin and Eric Jones at this point, they're not going to make up their points gap. They got to be in a must-win situation now. How are they going to do it? I think they just got to bank on everyone else wrecking out or trying to play some pit strategy because you don't know how this race is going to go down. Bowyer and Johnson, I think they just need to have a consistent day at the Roval. Bowyer was my pick to win this weekend, and he did awful. He ran towards the back literally the whole time. Ryan Blaney and Alex Bowman, again, they got to do consistent. Alex Bowman was a top 10 car today, so he did all right. I forgot where he finished. Ryan Blaney did good. Actually, no, he didn't. Ryan Blaney was literally a top 20 car the entire day, low top 20. He got lapped multiple times by Kyle Busch, Harvick, Keselowski, Truex, multiple different leaders. Even though Richmond's not really his track, that happened. So ultimately, I give the race a 5 out of 10. I just wish the stages would have had better racing. The only thing that made this race exciting was stage 3 with the battle between Keselowski and Kyle Busch, and then Harvick trying to run down Kyle Busch. I guess it also helps that Truex won both stages as well. So yeah, a 5 out of 10 for me. I still don't know why Stenhouse dumped Denny Hamlin. I really like to know how Denny Hamlin feels about that. Because I kind of liked it, though, because I don't like Denny Hamlin. So thank you, Stenhouse, for making Hamlin now in a must-win situation. That's kind of good for me. Yeah, Hamlin's probably pissed off about that. That's really nuts, considering I didn't know, I knew, tires really matter much because the brake rotors would heat up your tires so much to where they would wear more. But I just didn't think that tires would play that much of a factor where you have such a bigger advantage. Chase Elliott, solid day. He had a top 5 car all day. Just car wouldn't turn on in the short runs. They did whatever adjustments they could to it, and it didn't help. So, yeah, I give the race a 5 out of 10. You know what? No. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 because of the fact that Truex won both stages. Bias fan, you guys. 6 out of 10. That's it. 6 out of 10. It was a decent race. I guess some of the racing could have been better, and especially the finish could have been better if Kurt Busch and hold up Kyle Busch and maybe helped out Kevin Harvick. So, ultimately, the race gets a 6 out of 10 for me, and it was a decent race. Thank God Truex is locked in the next round, so we don't have to worry about the Roval. He's 85 points to the good. Good luck to everyone else. That race is going to be a shit show. I talked about it on Rowdy's podcast. That's going to conclude this race review. Make sure to go follow me on Twitter. I made a video about that, about following me on Twitter. Make sure to watch Rowdy's podcast every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.